The 60s, I know, not just from living through it, but from living through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and now in 2013, that was an intense time of change.
God, it was good.
Color, drugs, boyfriends, music.
Beatles.
Beatles. Oh, the Beatles. I let my underarm hair grow.
I wore it like an phallic symbol at the top of my head.
I didn't quite understand what the hell they were doing, but they were the happiest people I've ever met in my whole life.
We were walking up the steps that go into the cathedral, and this man came down to me and he said, "No, no, no." And he pointed, "Go." And it was because I had a mini skirt on.
Orange rope. Wooden shoes.
I wore it with nothing under it.
Raccoon coat.
You know, where your two nipples were sticking out in between.
The single most happiest memory that I have during that period was when your grandmother went on the pill.
Fire, the wheel, the pill.
Rhythm is great if you're a drummer or a musician, but if you're trying to practice birth control, forget it.
Free love.
Malcolm X.
The Freedom Riders.
Peace.
The draft.
Vietnam War. The hippie movement.
The moon landing.
Is this a hoax?
Those guys in that balloon outfit just, waddling around like that. We just simply stepped on that transporter pod and sparkled and beamed down.
Do you remember any dances from the 60s?
The twist.
The twist.
The twist. This is pretty much it.
Just, I love dancing.
And then there was this shit, where you do this stuff.
I'm here.
It was a dichotomy of embracing joy and enormous tragedy.
What would our country, even the world, be like if President Kennedy hadn't been assassinated?
Oh, my God.
He was our hope.
Just destroyed me. I mean, I think I really had kind of a nervous breakdown because of that.
I think probably the ballsiest thing that I saw somebody do gets right back to the Civil Rights Movement, and that was to give their life for it.
But I remember Uncle Martin's speech.
I can't say I remember any other speech in the way that I remember this "I Have a Dream" speech of Dr. Martin Luther King.
There was a sea of people of all different colors. I'd never seen so many people before.
Assassinated. That was heartbreaking. It was outrage-inducing.
And I got a hold of a gun, a Colt 38. Often I thought of the Panthers when I looked at the gun, and the two became synonymous to me, and it made me really sick.
The 1960s were the highest high of this century and the lowest low.
There was a promise that that time would have liked to have kept.
The promise was that we would be entering into a utopian society.
It did not happen.
We were naive in thinking that we were going to make a change in history. We were going to make a big difference.
Daddy and Uncle Martin made it possible for me to come into the front door of this place.
I lived in a good era. I really did. I lived in the best.
The love part was great. We should have more of that. We should have more of that.